Welcome back, Gameyaaad family. Thank you so much for joining us for another video. Now, we'll be talking a little bit about West Indies cricket in this video. In fact, I will be zooming in mainly on the second ODI, which West Indies would have played against England. Now, I think we have been collecting a lot of losses. West Indies A team would have lost all their 50 over games. They would have lost that first unofficial test against South Africa A. The women's team would have lost that T20 against England 3-0, right? And they are currently they would have lost 2 games out of the ODIs already, right? West Indies men's team now would have won 1 game in Ireland, and they would have lost one by a massive 124 runs. And one game would have been rained out. Now West Indies men's team now they would have lost 3-0 in the ODI matches. Now a lot of losses, to be honest with you, but I think I want to look on the process rather than the results, right? If we get the process right, then the results will come. Now in this second game, I believe that we could have won this ODI match. I think this is the closest match that we would have, been in the game right throughout. And I think because of some small, cricket is a game of small margins, right? And that is one of the reasons why we would have lost this game. Now, we would have batted first and made 308, and to be honest with you, I think we should have gotten in excess of 330 runs plus, right? And I'm going to tell you why. When we were at about 25 overs, right, we were at, I think it was 141 for 1, right, at the halfway stage of the innings, right? So in the end, we would have made 308 from 47.4 overs. Casey Carty would have made another 100. He would have made 103 from 105 deliveries. Right, he would have anchored the innings after we would have lost Joel Andrew early in the innings. Casey Carty would have gotten support from captain Shea Hope. He would have made 78 from 66 deliveries, and Brandon King would have made 59 from 67 deliveries. The pick of the English bowlers would have been Adil Rashid. He would have taken 4 for 63, and Taqib Mahmood would have taken 3 for 37. England, in their reply, they would have gotten over the line. In fact, they were in early trouble. At one point, they were at 2 for 2, right? And we would have removed Ben Duckett and Jamie Smith for Duck, and then further on in the game, Josh Butler would have made a duck as well, right? But it was, a masterclass innings, and I must respect that innings played by, Joe Root. He would have made an unbeaten 166 from 139 deliveries. Now, Joe Root would have gotten support from Will Jack, who would have made 49 from 38 deliveries. And also Captain Harbrook would have made 47 from 36 deliveries. The pick of the West Indies bowlers include Alzarri Joseph. He would have taken 4 for 31. Now, I think the first observation I want to make up front, right? I think Darren Sammy need to be careful what we are doing with the confidence of Joel Andrew. Now, Joel Andrew would have batted at number 5 in the first ODI. He made 8, and then they would have pushed him now to open the batting. Now, this is a young 19-year-old, right? And what are we doing with this 19-year-old, right? Because I believe it should be a process for this 19-year-old and not when pushing him around in order to get results, right? I think we should be focusing on the process rather than results at this point in time, because our team, I mean, we have been winning some games, especially in 2024, right? And all right, let's look on it this way. Jamie Smith from England, right? He would have been selected in the ICC Champions Trophy. He made, batting at number 3, he made 0, 9 and 15, right? England did not throw Jamie Smith away, right? In fact, in this series, they elevated him to the opening position, right? He made 37 in the first ODI, a duck in the second ODI, right? And then a man of the match 64 in the third ODI. Now, this is how you build confidence in your young players, right? You don't pushing the young man around, and then if he fails, then you throw him out the team. Because Joel and Jabin made a duck in the second ODI. He was thrown out the team in the third ODI. How do you think, the young man will take these things, having, been pushed around in the team, and then when he would have failed, right, he just gets thrown aside in the third ODI. Now, I believe that we should build confidence in our young players, right, rather than, trying to push him around in order to get results, right? It should be a process. And in fact, in my humble opinion, I think Joel Andrew should not have gone to England, right? I think he should have stayed back and played some of that 50-over game against the South Africa A, right? Where he would have gotten more, opportunity to showcase his talent, right? So I think that was a mistake made by Darren Sammy and his team. They should have allowed him to play in that 50-over competition against the South Africa A, where he would have gotten more chance. In fact, I think he would have played all those games, right? Now, and I think that's something that we need to be mindful of going forward. You cannot have this young man just pushing him in and around the team. We should give him a chance, in the team to express himself until he finds his footing in the game. That's what England did with Jamie Smith, right? Now, the next point I want to make is that I think we could have made in excess of 330. And I did listen to Casey Carty. In fact, I read what Casey Carty would have said after the second ODI, and which is a fair statement he would have made, because I believe initially when Casey Carty got out, I believe it was the wrong time that he got out, because at that point we should be pushing on, right? Which he said he tried to do, right? When I read his statement, he said that he and the captain would have, because they don't have Sherfy and Rutherford in the lineup, right, to take on the bowlers in the back end of the team. So he said that one of them need to go at that point, which I believe one of them should have, try to, up the scoring rate and put pressure on the English bowlers, right? Which he said he tried to do, but unfortunately he got out, right? And I think when he got out there, it put a strain on the team, right? In fact, our last 6 wickets went for 33 runs. We can't be playing this brand of cricket. The last 6 batters, and if we can push it a little bit further, our last 8 batters went for 161 runs. Yeah, because we were at 275 for 4, right, at one point, right, and we all out for 308 runs. This is unacceptable at this level, right, of international cricket. and it was largely due to the poor shot selection by our batters coming in. Right? We cannot lose 6 wickets for 33 runs. That just it's unacceptable at this level. Now, another point I also want to make is that our bowlers, I mean, we know that these bowlers, they are, most of them are still learning the game. For example, Matthew Ford still learning his craft, Jaden Seals still learning his craft, right? And Buddha Kishmoti would have dropped form, big time for us, because we generally would have, expected Moti to get some wickets in the middle overs. And in the past few, games, when you look back even on the Ireland series, we have been having challenges getting wickets in the middle over. In fact, it's Alzarri Joseph who has been really getting some wickets for us in the middle overs. And I must say, Alzarri Joseph was exceptional in this second ODI. He was in really good rhythm, and I believe that Shea Hope should have brought back Alzarri Joseph when Joe Root was going on, in this innings. You should have brought back Alzarri. You can't bring back Alzarri Joseph in the 42nd over, right? And we need to get Joe Root out, right? He was the best bowler for us on the day, right? And you keep having Buddha Kishmoti and Ruston Chase bowling, and they're just hitting them for boundaries for fun, right? So I think Shea Hope in his decision making in the middle there, it could have been better if he, in the 35, 30, there about 35, 36, 37 over, he should have brought back Alzarri Joseph to kind of, put some pressure on Joe Root, right? Because he was in really good rhythm, and he was up in the tempo in terms of, he was bowling, 90 miles per hour for fun, right? And so I think we should have brought back Alzarri Joseph a little bit earlier in the game, and probably we could have gotten the wicket of Joe Root. Even in my humble opinion, I think Matthew Ford would have gotten the trap LBW on 7, because that ball hit the back pad, and generally the umpire would have given that out, but so be it. But I think Matthew Ford and Jaden Seals, they did not bowl really well. And another thing I want to state to Darren Sammy, Alzarri Joseph should be bowling our new ball. We can't have our best bowler bowling, coming on in the second spell, right? He should be setting the tone up front, right, in our ODI games, right? I'm not sure what is the discussion between you and him, why he is brought on, in the second, spell, but I think Alzarri Joseph should be bowling our new ball to set that tone at the top, right? I know Matthew Ford would have had a good 2024, right? And he was, very good last year for us, especially in ODIs, where he swings the ball, swings very well. But I think he needs to work on his slow ball. I mean, even sometimes I'm watching the game, it's very easy to pick. Just watching the game, and you are bowling to world-class player who watch the ball from your hand, right? So he needs to find a way to disturb guys that slow ball some more. And I mean, overall, I think our bowlers, they were all over the place. We did not bowl good line and length, right? And so I think we need to work on our bowling. I'm not saying that we don't have any bowlers. We have really good bowlers, but the Jaden Seals, Matthew Ford, Shamar Joseph, they still needs to learn how to bowl in white ball cricket, right? It's much different from bowling in test match, right? So they have to be hitting their line and length on a consistent basis, right? And we did not see that in the ODI games, right? Especially in the second ODI. And another thing too, We had England 2 for 2, and Shea Hope did not. He wasn't as aggressive as I would have wanted him to, right? He, because we started to get hit by the batters, then we just spread the field, and hoping, that the batters will do something wrong to get a wicket. But we have to be aggressive. We have to stay in the game, right? And we have to be thinking on our feet, how we can adapt to the conditions of the game, and how we can take wickets. We have to be doing that. So those are some of the things that I would have, seen in that, game. I still believe that we should have won this game. This is the game that, I think we were very close to winning, right? So it's just some small margin. As I said, cricket is a game of small margins, and we have to be, be more ruthless as a team, right? And we have to stay in the game for long periods in order to win these games, right? England is a world-class team, right? Probably not now, but they are much better than us, and we have to stay in the game, right? When our bowlers are being put under pressure, they just fall, right? We have to be more aggressive in our playing, and just need to make some better decisions going forward, right? So these are the points that I really want to make in this video. Thank you so much for tuning in, and stay tuned as we will be looking on the third ODI and also the T20 matches coming up. In fact, the T20 will start tomorrow, right? So I need to look on the squad today. Thanks again for watching, and please stay tuned to Gameyaaad TV, where you will have much more to come.
Belo, belo, belo.